Y'all look, huge breaking news out of the kayak bass fishing world. Hobie BOS will not be returning for 2025 season. This is crazy. 4 years ago, when I got into kayak fishing, this was a creme de la creme, the premier national trail. Big payouts, unbelievable TOC with a huge payout. And now, 2025, Hobie BOS will not have a trail. Let me read to you what AJ McWhorter, the tournament director, posted on their Facebook page. This was posted 2 hours ago, which would have been about 2 o'clock or so Eastern Standard Time. We apologize. We have not been able to formally address the 2025 season prior to this point. The BOS evolved from a single annual event. It has hosted 1, 2, and 3-day events all over the country and has adapted as a series as the demands of competitive kayak fishing fluctuated. We say that to acknowledge the BOS is flexible and will continue to focus on what we believe our strategic position needs to be to maximize our impact for the anglers, the sport, and our brand. With that said, we will not be hosting a 2025 series as you've come to know it. To be clear, this is not due to the perceived drop in attendance. As a not-for-profit tournament series, we do not rely on angler entries or memberships to function as others do and are built to provide premium experiences and payouts for who does come, not who doesn't come. We have always had tremendous support from our anglers, the host communities, and our great sponsors. We truly can't thank y'all enough. However, after 6 strong seasons, we need to take a step back to evaluate the landscape, opportunities, and our future goals for this series. Coming out of this break, we hope to provide more timely announcements on future events and ultimately bring the BOS back with more momentum, community, and opportunities for anglers in the future. Thanks again for all the support to this point. We will continue working hard for our anglers. However, that looks for the future. Hobie has always run events for their products to be used and enjoyed in, and we definitely plan on doing that again. All right. It sounds like they have plans for some events. I'm not sure if that means the events are going to be in 2025. You know, we won't be hosting a 2025 series as you've come to know it. Maybe they have some stuff coming up. I don't know. I don't think a lot of people know. Side note, if you hear my dog barking in the background, that's little Oscar, and he can hear me talking. He wants to be out here with me, but he can't because he's paying the ass. But anyway, just bear with me if you hear him. Don't know what to expect moving forward for 2026. Maybe there's some type of event in 2025. There's a lot to unpack here, but this is huge for the kayak bass fishing world. See, you're hearing? I can't do nothing about it, y'all. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Hopefully, this microphone is cutting out the wind noise, even though it's dog barking. But this, when I started, this was the trail series. This was the national series that everybody fished for 2 years. You had to be on there and sign up for a tournament within the first 30 minutes. It was capped at 250, 225. You had to be there at the first 30 minutes to be able to register to get a spot for 2 years. Last year, nationally, even locally, we saw a drop in numbers for the people who were fishing. He said that didn't impact their decision for this. Not sure how much it did. Who knows? But we have seen a decline in the last year in people wanting to fish kayak bass fishing tournaments. Look, things have changed. We're out of that period where people had time. Traveling's more expensive. Lodging's more expensive. You got folks from the Northeast who are traveling down to these tournaments that are mainly focused in the Southeast. Florida, Texas, Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee. That's a long haul for those folks. Again, this is huge news in the kayak bass fishing world. This was one of the premier trails. We only have one national trail left now, and that's bass. They just released their schedule this week. They're the only one out there. We're going to see what happens with their numbers, see what the future holds. But this is not a good sign for kayak bass fishing on a national stage. May I ask, is kayak bass fishing dead? Not dead. I feel like the local trails, maybe some of your regional trails, but definitely the local trails, less travel, less entry fees. That's the bread and butter. They're probably going to be all right. But I will say this is probably a sign of the decline for national trails of kayak bass fishing. Now what happens? I don't know. Do we see a consolidation and there's one major trail? And instead of it being an open, you have to qualify, and there's 2 or 3 handfuls of anglers that fish on it? Obviously there's not enough people out there that can make the travel and pay the entry fees and fish. I know quite a few folks fished them heavily for a few years, and then now they're like, it's not worth it to travel. We'll see where this goes. It's going to be an interesting 2025 for kayak bass fishing. We'll see what happens in 2025 with bass. We'll see what happens with Hobie come 2026. But until then, get out there, fish your local trails, fish on the weekends, have fun, catch fish. Everything will be all right. But for all the tournament anglers out there that won't be professional anglers, professional kayak anglers, this a kick in the balls. This one hurts. This one hurts. We are going to talk about this on the Bass and Brews podcast. We record tonight. The episode will drop December 20th, a week from this coming Friday. Go check it out. I'll put a link to our podcast there, Bass and Brews podcast. We're going to discuss it. We're going to see if kayak bass fishing is dead. Is it dying? Is it just on the decline? Or is this a hiccup in the growth of the sport? We'll see where it goes. I'll keep you up to date with anything that I run across. Until then, we'll see you on the next time.